who's working today? Sharon.
Yes.
You want to talk to us about West Thames?
I will.
The inevitable
bridge project. Yes.
West Thames.
Yeah. So it is. The project is moving into the build phase.
Can I just say, by the way, just by way of background, when I arrived here 3.5 years ago, it was clear that Mayor Bloomberg wanted to officiate at a groundbreaking for the West Thames Bridge. Right? Before the end of, I think before the end of that year, then we pushed it off to the end of his last year in office. Here we are. Let's go. What are we doing?
So it is moving into the build phase. There's a RFP out by the city for contractors to come in with their bids on what the construction is going to cost. The cost estimate is currently holding at the original one of $27.5 billion. Regardless of this, we have our commitment of $7.5 million, which is $6.5 million for the construction phase and $1 million committed for the removal of the Rector Street Bridge, plus whatever repairs need to be done to the community gardens and basketball courts. There is an issue of what do we do if there's cost overruns. We worked out with LMDC that if we up to $2.5 million in cost overruns, we are agreeing to split the percentage difference the same way we're doing the cost. So LMDC is currently in for 72.7% of the cost of construction versus the authority, which is in for $27.5 million. The cost overruns total for our exposure will be capped at $2.75 million, which means that LMDC would be in for $2 million of cost overruns, and the authority would be in for $750 million. So $750,000.
We're 7.5. They're 20.
Exactly.
Correct. Okay.
So we would be capped at $750,000 for any cost overruns. LMDC's board has to approve this arrangement as well, but today we're asking the board.
Did you put the 896,000?
No. Yes, we did. Oh, in the separate side agreement letter, we absolutely did put that.
So here's the short one. You can keep this in. We have been insisting that we will not enter into a contract that does not have an absolute limit on our exposure. We're basically a conduit for the funding, but we have our contribution at about 27% of the project. So really what we had, let's call it an informal understanding, as this board has deliberated on this project in the past, was the idea, okay, we'll give you 7.5, period, paragraph. Now, the 27.5 has in it a $2.75 million contingency budget. The guy has to be 10% over the forecast before any of this happens. What we've now negotiated with LMDC, which is another little bite out of the apple, is that if there are overruns even in excess of the 10% contingency, we will absorb our pro rata share, but only up to an absolute cap, which is $750,000, period. And they have to affirmatively take the obligation specifically for any cost overruns that would exceed that number before we would execute the contract. They also owe us about $896,000 on other stuff, and we'd like to have that money back. And so we said, well, as long as we're cleaning all this up, why don't we get that money transferred over? All I have so far is what I'll call positive body language from my counterpart over at the PA, which is where the money comes from. Positive body language from my counterpart at LMDC, who's supposed to get it to us. We haven't seen any cash yet, but we put it in the deal. But basically, we would have exposure up to $750,000 if there are overruns beyond the 10%.
Based on initial discussions with our partners at LMDC, that's a job well done. Absolutely. That's great.
Based on where we started.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, very good.
So what we're asking...
We say only good things about other authorities.
Yeah, that's right.
We don't know what they're saying about us.
So what we're asking today during the vote is four-part, which is to proceed with the financing from our part for the $7.5 million, because it's possible that we're going to have to do the construction and deconstruction simultaneously. We'll figure that out. We want the approval to spend the $7.5 million of our own proceeds. the approval of the cost overrun financing for us, contingent on the LMDC board approving the same arrangement, allowing the authority to be a pass-through for LMDC's construction costs of $17 million and change, and for us to be a pass-through for LMDC's cost overrun apportionment, or rather share, up to $2 million. So that's the four-part approval.
Other questions? Comments? Wait till we get these members back. Never mind that. Do we have any other questions, or do we have a motion?
Motion.
We got a motion. Got a second? Second. Hearing no opposition. Approved. This may be record time for us. We have a motion here to conduct executive session. Do we want to go? You want to go? So we're going to go in executive session. We got a little bit of litigation and stuff to talk about. It will be brief. I do not anticipate further formal action by the board other than a motion to adjourn.
No, on the part. We have one Parks.
What are we going to do?
We have one Parks Conservancy contract.
Yes.
Very small.
Oh, so we need a conservancy meeting?
Yes. It will
And we
be-
can we put our meeting? Can we adjourn our meeting for a moment, convene the Conservancy Act, and come back to our meeting and go to executive session?
Perfect.
Yes.
Otherwise, we're just, it's not really reason for everybody else.
So you need to. So why don't you move adjourn?
I'm going to move for a temporary adjournment of the meeting of the authority. That's, we got a second. That's approved. And I want to call to order a meeting of the Conservancy.
Yes.
Do I have something in here to tell you what we're doing?
The first thing up is approval of the minutes.
Parks agenda. Oh, we want to approve the minutes? I guess we might as well. As long as we have, okay. Call to order meeting of the Battery Park City Conservancy. Battery Park City Authority Conservancy, is that formal name? Conservancy. It does still exist. Okay, good. I'm still in here we go. Parks agenda. Authorization to execute a contract with Cummins Power Systems,